All right, we've got our Sentinel image. We've dragged it over here onto the light table, and we're going to do some editing, some color grading here to get going. So I'm going to select the image I want, go over the darkroom tab up here, and we'll get to our image. And if you don't see all these options on the bottom right here, go to modules all. These will change based on what you have. So this gives me all these buttons over here and a long list of options you can use to change your image, right? Too many, in my opinion, sort of like Photoshop, a bit overwhelming. You can get pretty complicated. And there's many ways to do this. Now, I have my workflow that I'm kind of used to, but I know that there are a lot of ways that you can change a photo and make it look right. And, you know, if you're just beginning, this is a great way to just start with the basics and go from there. Or if you want to, you can keep going with this and get really complicated if you like. But I'm going to show you how to just simplify it and so you can get going. So I want to get rid of all of these options. There's just too many here. I just want to take the ones I want so I can make these changes. I'm going to go to the three lines here, this, I don't know, the hamburger icon, whatever it is, and make sure I'm on modules all. And then once I'm there, I'll go to manage presets at the bottom here, and I'll get this box. And this is everything you have, right? So what I want to do is hit duplicate, and I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename this Soar 2. I already have a Soar one, but so I'll rename it, and now I have the ability to get rid of some of these ones that I don't want. So let me stretch this out a little bit. So, like I said, there's too many. The ones that I want are exposure, tone curve, and contrast, brightness, and saturation. If you have another workflow and some of the, you want to grab some of these other ones, feel free. But I'm just going to do it the way that I do it, right? So start with exposure. Where is that? You got to kind of hunt for it here. So anything underneath it, I can get rid of crop or this. Right, so exposure, tone curve, that's two of them. And these are the ones that I need right here, right? So I'm going to get rid of all of these other ones. Just leave this in the base. I'll call it Soar 2. Right, so it's this gray circle, the group icon. And if I get rid of that and then I go to here, I have the Soar 2 preset. Now if I hit that circle, I just have the three that I want to use. Okay, so that's how you set that up. You may need to do that if you upgrade your software. You may have to redo that, but you can see it took me, I don't know, probably a minute or two to get that back to where I was. You'll get used to it. So really not that bad. So in order to do some changes, I'm going to start with exposure, and I'm going to dial this in a little bit. I'll bump the exposure up. I think like 0.5 is pretty good. So you can see, you can play around with it, like moving around. Like you can see, I like the way the blues in the water kind of get more contrasty. I can kind of see what's going on. Too much gets it a little blown out, but we'll start with 0.5. And then the black level, we're going to bump that up a little bit, 0.02. So it's, kind of making it a little more rich with that black. So, that's good right there. You get used to this after a while. And then for the tone curve, I will click that. Let's see, where am I? Tone equalizer. Oh, I think I grabbed the wrong one. Let me go fix that. So we'll go to manage the presets for Soar 2. Yeah, tone equalizer. If I want to add one, I go to available modules, tone curve. And then it's in there. So there we go. Easy to fix. So I go to tone curve. Now, if I click on the line, I get the, kind of the curve of this. This is sort of subjective. This takes a little getting used to. You can kind of just play around with it. What I sometimes will do is I use the picker, hit the control button, and find a place that I like. It'll put that line where it is, and I can play with just those colors, right? So that's a little more aggressive. I like the way I can see the waves, and the aqua coral areas really kind of pop. And then, you just got to play around with this a little bit. And wish I could give you more guidance than that, but it depends on your image. If you have a city image with lots of gray tones and little detail, it's a little bit different. In the past, I've done multiple versions where I'll do the water the way, and then I'll do the land the way I like it, and merge them in Photoshop. If you really want to nail it, but for our purposes, I kind of this. I think still got the green of the land and the blue. You got a good balance there, and I'll leave it there. And then when you're good with the tone curve, click on the contrast, brightness, and saturation. You'll see that these are kind of lit up a little bit more. And I can play with those now, and it seems to be a little bit of a haze there. If I brighten it up or darken it, we're kind of like that. Gives me some nice blues, right? So play around with it, right? And then when you're done, you kind of have it the way you like. You'll see this over here on the left, this history tab. Expand that, and then if you go back to your original, you can see the difference, right? And each step along the way. So that's where I went to. I went from this to that, right? So I like that much better. Like to me, these aquas really pop, which is kind of what I'm going for. I want that tropical feel, right? So if the land is a little too green or something, I can live with that, because I think the viewer is going to be focusing on the water parts in this image. It might be different on a desert image or a forested image, something like that. But so that's what I've got. That's how I've done my my changes. When I'm done, I go to export, and I want to make sure that the file format is in TIFF. It should be, because that's what you put in there. I think leave the other settings the way they are. You can say where you want to name it. So just name it. Just asking you for the folder there, and then create a unique file name. That's just where I leave it at. It's going to use the same image. Let's just export it and then drop it back into Q. So I'm dropping that in, or I got it. I found it there, and what I'm going to do is just drag it right in there, and you have your color graded image. If I wanted to make sure it's in the right place, let me put some OpenStreetMap data behind it, right? So there we go. Right where it's supposed to be. So that's my new background layer for this map, right? And I can do my labels, and just it's there. It's what I want. I don't have to worry about it again until I'm ready to print, right? So that's it. That's how you do your color corrections and get it right back into QGIS to keep going.